Hi, I'm Arienne Keith, and this is my asura necromancer, Euclidia. Minionmancer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another MMO Anthropology interview. I'm here in Guild Wars 2 with Euclidia right over here, and I apparently am holding a big ball of sparkling blue. We're in a jumping puzzle, which I'll probably have her explain at some point. So let's start this off. Hello, Euclidia, and thank you for coming along.
Hello.
So my first question, as usual, is why did you choose Guild Wars 2 for this interview?
I've been playing that a lot lately. You know, I went through a stage where I was addicted to it, and I reached level 80, and I was hanging out a lot in the Sylvari and Asura zones because I liked the way they looked, and I didn't like the rest of the world. I thought it was actually really boring and, plain compared to, say, Caledon Forest, and was kind of burned out, and then I left it completely alone for a year, and, after having a break from it, I got back into it.
So tell us a little bit about the location that you chose. What is this place, and why are we here?
It's a jumping puzzle in Caledon Forest. This is the second one that I like here. The other one is Dreamdark Enclave. It is another similarly soothing, dark, drippy place. I like dark, drippy places, but that one has mobs that spawn on a regular basis, and that would be kind of distracting. And this place is just, super zen. The only mobs are in the water, and they're not going to come up here and bother us.
Right, so that nothing's going to attack us and beat us up while we're holding this interview.
Yeah, the only way that you get beat up or attacked in this puzzle is if you drop into the water. If you stay up on the pads where the jumping puzzle is, you don't get hit by anything, which is not true of Dreamdark Enclave.
Cool. Do you have an experience with other MMOs before you came to Guild Wars 2?
Actually, you first started me off in Rusty Heart's very first MMO ever after I actually got a laptop that could handle gaming for the first time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that, and then I've sampled quite a few others with the MMO Anthropology livestream. I just cycled through, and I kind of started recognizing this pattern where all the MMOs, especially fantasy MMOs, seem to be identical in one thing. I mean, they'll change out, some of the appearances or whatever, or change out some of the names, but it's always some sort of magic setting. You've got classes that all do basically the same thing, and, not same thing as each other, but same thing across different games.
Mm-hmm.
And every single fantasy MMO, it's go here, kill 10 skeletons. Okay, now go here, kill 15 zombies. Okay, now go over here and kill 10 wither skeletons instead of, other skeletons, which don't really look all that different, and you just have to look at the name tag on them, and it's just go kill this, and it's extremely boring.
Mm-hmm.
This game, on the other hand, Guild Wars 2 has a lot of different play modes. You've got the jumping puzzles, you've got kind of some some scavenger hunts, and wacky puzzles that are not, just jumping puzzles. Like you've got, on the live stream we did the pirate puzzle where, you fall down a hole into some water, run around in the caves. You got some booby traps, and that's right. The ghost likes to turn out the light on you because he's kind of that's his sense of humor.
Yeah, the pirate
jumping
puzzle. I do recall that. Yeah.
Oh, and mine went out too.
Yeah, I was wondering why my glowing electrical ball went out, so I just replaced it before. Oh, you fell in the water.
Yeah, that's because I didn't have mouse look on.
Oh, okay. So
I use mouse look a lot,
mm-hmm.
and yeah.
So my next question, of course, is when you're playing Guild Wars 2, what do you do on a regular day?
it depends on what I'm in the mood for. You know, I can go on the champion train and hunt down world bosses and get rare gear. I've still got some map exploring left to do. There's a story that I haven't touched in a long, long time. And you know, just events in, I don't know, a place like the Silver Waste where I can go hunt treasure chests and you know, then more jumping puzzles that I have already run all the ones that I can easily do that, you know, don't make me want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's only 2 left in the world that haven't been done. Oh, except for one in a map I haven't explored yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you find compelling
so I do them over again.
About jumping puzzles? You've mentioned that you go through those a lot. Then that's very exploratory.
It's some of it is they're entertaining, like the pirate that's you know, forgetful and couldn't remember if his first mate had, you know, 6 toes on his right foot or his left hand, and you know, leads you through this labyrinth, gets turned around, goes back, retraces his steps. You know, you walk through some walls. You know, and then there's the Goonies ship, and then there's places like this that are really good when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and have insomnia because I'm coming off of a sleep schedule where I had to get up early in the morning, and I'm so not a day person.
Nice.
So dark, drippy places are very soothing to me.
Okay, so that's why, as you said, this is why you chose this one for the interview.
Yeah.
So, how do you use MMOs as entertainment, but differently than reading books or watching TVs or a movie?
Well, the story is already set. It's you know, something that's it's already written. The game is well, it's got a lot of options. It's a little bit more, you know, closest thing I can relate it to is a holodeck. It's a you get to shape it to some degree. You can make it do things that may not have originally been done. And this is something that I've brought up with copyright issues before too. It's you know, if you're broadcasting what you're doing in a game, it's going to be a little bit different for each person that goes through and does it because it's unique to the user and it changes what it finally becomes is dependent on how you interact with it.
So I'm curious about the social aspects of your interactions in MMOs. Like, do you have a guild, or have you met any people through this?
Well, mostly I just hang out with people that I already know in real life, and the guilds that they're in, they may you know, drag me into. For example, Dragon created a guild for, you know, the 4 or 5 of us. And then there's one that he's part of, the Furs, that I think I'll probably get involved in because it sounds like they do some useful things.
Mm-hmm. Especially because, as I recall correctly, there is a great deal of content in Guild Wars 2 that requires actual groups to do it. And
there's also places where, you know, there's things that you may not want to do that other people are okay with and are good at that they can help you with. For example, those 2 jumping puzzles that make me want to cry. Skipping Stones and Griffin Rook Run. Mm-hmm. Skipping Stones has these platforms that poof up into the air, and if you've done the jumping puzzle in the winter zone, it's kind of like these melting snowflakes, except these platforms go away way faster. They're much tinier, and if you fall off and try to, you know, well, you have to start over all over again from the beginning. So you kind of want to be jumping through the air as the platform is forming, and that's just really a pain in the backside. Mm-hmm. And they have mesmers that can teleport you to the top. And so if you find someone that's good at a particular puzzle, that's kind of why I've been thinking about starting up a mesmer just for jumping puzzles, because I feel kind of bad when I reach the end of one, or there's one that I'm really super familiar with, like this one, and I see other people falling down a lot, and I'm just like, oh, I want to help you. Because I like this one.
For an explanation, one of the classes in Guild Wars 2 is Mesmers, and Mesmers come with an ability to create portals, which means that someone who's completed a jumping puzzle can form a portal at the top, jump down, form a portal at the bottom, and ferry people up so they don't have to go through the jumping puzzle. So what I'm hearing from you, Arienne, is that you have a love for jumping puzzles, but also... But
not all of them, and I want someone to do the work for me in the ones that I hate, and I would also, you know, like to
give that back to the community.
Yes, yeah.
In the ones that you like. Well, I can see that totally. And have you found the community here to be friendly, you know, or hostile? What's the temperature, would you say?
Well, as someone who doesn't really interact with guilds and just kind of runs around in the world on my own for the most part, there's it's well, I know there's nasty people in the chat, and I started blocking them. I was noticing that a lot, and after I kind of just went on a blocking spree, I've noticed them less. So that would seem to suggest that the assholes are a small enough percentage that you can block them once and for all, and you don't have to worry about that constantly popping up and constantly finding more assholes being an issue.
Right.
Which is a good sign.
That is good to hear.
Yeah, because I went through that for a while. It's just like, man, all the people in this game are assholes. And once I got them all written off, then it got a little better.
Oop, there went your glowy ball.
Yes.
So,
the light went out.
Tell me a little bit about the class that you play in the race. You have this tiny little person, and you said that you play a necromancer. Specifically, I think that you tried to mention that it was a minion-mancer.
Yes.
What does this mean, and why do you play this class in Guild Wars 2?
Well, in most games, there's a few different strategies depending on... Whoa, that went out fast. That's interesting.
Yeah, that happened to me before earlier in the conversation.
Yeah. Although mine went out just a few seconds after yours did, so I figured it just must have timed out, but that was too fast.
Yeah.
There's a few different playstyles that I try to go for, and there's pets. Going with pet classes, whatever will give me pets. I think when I tried out World of Warcraft, I went with a warlock because undead pets is kind of fun. Necromancer here, I've got undead pets. Hunters in this game can also get pets, but they've only got 2 that they can swap back and forth from, which is my understanding.
Yes.
And when in this game, well, actually, here I can show you.
Okay.
I get an army.
Do we want to move to this platform over here so that
yeah,
they're
I
not
guess
crowding
so.
you out? I guess.
Yeah. Because there are several of them.
Oh yeah, you've got the floaty ball of gas with eyeballs that blink.
And then there's this one, too, which is
it's a worm.
a turret, basically.
Yes.
So it's stationary. And I used to run also with bone minions, which are 2 little dogs that are kind of cute. And actually, I could... If you want to take a look at the bone fiend here, which is on the shelf behind me before I make it go away, then I'll bring out the bone minions too so you can see what those look like.
Yep, I'm illuminating it. Sure, go ahead.
Alright. It might take a little bit of a cooldown before... Nope. I can bring them right out. There we go.
Yep, they are small, rat-like.
Yep.
And
with little faces.
It kind of looks like... Oh, wait, that's my guy. I can't get a good look at them. They're around here somewhere.
There's one behind... Let's see. They kind of shift around when I walk.
I see them.
See, there's one behind me.
Yeah, they've got little skull faces. All right.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bit of time left in the interview. So my last question always is, what is your favorite or most memorable experience in an MMO?
I'm really not good at these sorts of questions. I have trouble recalling, number ones or favorites. And
just pick something that strikes your fancy then.
I don't know. I guess there's the pirate jumping puzzle with the, booby traps and
the forgetful pirate.
The forgetful pirate leads you through labyrinth, and he flips the lights on and off. I thought that was entertaining.
It was particularly atmospheric, and
yes,
you like pirates.
It was. It was annoying to work with, but it was also funny.
All right, everyone. That's all the time that I've got for this interview. So thank you so much for coming along, Arienne Keith, player of Euclidia here, the Necromancer from Guild Wars 2. And, yep, that's it. Good night and good dreams, everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Take care.
Do you play online games? Do you have Skype? Then we'd love to interview you on Massive Online Anthropology. Join the fascinating thousands who've spoken about their online gaming experience and be the envy of all your friends. Or at least get the MMO Anthropology Geek Merit Badge. Sorry, no t-shirt. See you then!